What do we have here, Marty? Here's another
Okay, so this
pictures.
I threw this in because this is a um, a gun gin. Essentially, it's called a gin. It's meant to be portable. It has spikes on its feet. When we set this up on our battery at Fort Meigs, we had to drill holes in the deck um, to allow the spikes to drive through. But ideally, it would be set up on ground. And this is really a magical device. We use it to teach people about mechanical advantage. So you see, it's not just a barrel that you wind the rope onto. So the smaller diameter to the right, the and the larger diameter to the left. When you're raising a weight, you work the windlass in such a way that it winds onto the bigger diameter rope, and of course, the bigger diameter drum, which overall shortens the length, which raises the barrel. What's neat about it is because it's wound backwards on the shorter one, on the smaller diameter, is that it's self-suspending. So you don't have, once you raise that barrel that's on there is about a 900-pound barrel. We can raise that barrel up to about chest high and then just take the poles out and it will just hang there. We don't, for obvious reasons, in case some public member comes along and starts monkeying with it and drops the darn thing. But um, yeah, it will suspend that barrel any weight up to 1,500 pounds or 2,000 pounds easily. Will suspend in just, you raise it to a height and it just hangs there because it's counterbalanced.
And then why would you want to lift a barrel?
You lift a barrel, well, you can see in the background there, there's a garrison carriage with a 12 pounder on it. So the barrels, frequently when you're traveling, you're either moving them by ship or barge, but they're not mounted onto their, not necessarily mounted onto their carriages. And so you would need to mount them onto the carriage, or in some cases, like if Fort Meigs, build the carriage on site first and then mount the barrels onto the carriage. Um, so that's why you need the gen. That's why you need a gen. And of course, you can't see in this picture. There's a leg that sticks straight out on the back side. The idea is you can knock this thing down and pack it in the back of a wagon and use it to set up your positions. Gun barrels, of course, can be very heavy. That's a 6 pounder, a short 6 pounder, light 6 pounder, and that, as I said, iron weighs about 900, in the neighborhood of 900 pounds for the
Yeah,
barrel.
I was at Fort Malden on the weekend and looking at some of the guns they had at on site there, and it some 24 pounders and what monstrous beasts those things are.